There needs to be more females.
I don't know.
Jokes aside.
There's all these rules, and I don't know which rule Hardrock falls under.
Listen, in any aspect of life, you go to a bar, you go to your dance, anything, anywhere, a gym. If there's ladies there, it's a better party. It's more fun.
Welcome back to the next aid station. I am your host, Jake Kilgore. Mick Garrison in the heezy with me, as always. And being back in the studio feels amazing.
You're home.
I am here.
How was that flight?
It was this good. Yep, it was about that good. Flight was, it was an ultra. I went 23 hours. The sun never set because we were traveling west. I was awake for 23 hours and the sun never went down.
Oh, that's funny.
I was explaining it to Tyson, my 12-year-old. I'm like, we got
trying to outrun the sun.
Yeah, we got to Salt Lake. I'm like, bro, did you notice the sun never went down? It's like, yeah. It was cool.
He's all I did from my back of the plane seat sitting straight up for 17 hours.
It's like, yes, I noticed. It's just glazed eyes.
Oh, I would feel terrible. Your eyes look good. You're looking fresh. How many hours of sleep did you get last night?
Whoa. Strong.
Yeah, that's American rock star right there.
And I got that American rock
I
star.
don't want that Italian shit.
Wow. Really hit me. You know what? You know when it hits the back of the throat?
No, I've never experienced that.
No, you have. Where it just, pow! Right in the back of the throat?
No.
That is rude if you've never experienced that.
I mean, I could only wish that I could experience such a great experience.
It's a shock.
Experience a great experience? Do better. God.
It's a shock, and it's a, then you feel great.
When I serve the drink,
When you serve said
fluids,
fluids.
I know that side of it. But
If I take the fluid in, pow, right to the back of the throat, it just takes a little gargling, and then I'm good.
Okay, welcome home.
Welcome back. It feels great to be in studio. Back from Italy, bro. I got the airplane legs and flight lagginess off this morning. I woke up at 6:30, just bink.
It would take me 2 days.
Dude, it was, I don't know why. I feel like no jet lag. I feel great. I think because I slept like 2 hours over that 23-hour time period, but I basically stayed all the way awake. You'd been so proud. I hit my bed at 9:50 p.m. Out. Woke up at 6:25. I was like, great. It's going to be 95 again today. I'm just going to go run now. And I felt awesome.
Oh, good.
I hit a little 7
Where'd you
miler
go?
on Vita.
Vita.
Just shake the legs out, and I hit it in an hour flat, like hour 0000. And I was like, okay, I feel good. I'm paying attention to my knees, my ankles, my feet, just making sure everything's intact. Because that's my first training run in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but it was probably all right for you to take. You went hard. Take a break.
I was great. I went hard for 12 weeks, took 5 days off, raced hard, and then walked. Dude, my watch was clocking like 10 to 15,000 steps a day for 2 weeks in Europe.
Yeah.
So recovery, yes. I feel great.
I just did the Vita course the other day, and it was mid-90s.
Oh, bro, you went in the afternoon after work?
After work.
Sun just cooks it, dude, from that west
side.
side.
Not a chance in hell I was doing it an hour. It hurt me. I was like, I got a little nervous because I know my race is going to be hot. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, I'm like, dude, I'm going to die. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So, that makes me a little nervous. But
dude, I'm sorry. You won't, dude, you'll be fine. You'll be in better shape. Race vibes will be up. You'll be in a Speedo, so you'll be extra cool.
Hey, I have an idea.
You'll look good in javelina.
Instead of the Speedo, we dressed up like Forrest Gump? Because he's an ultra runner.
I'm down to dress up as whatever. I'm just pacing.
Do you have to dress up as anything?
I don't think you have to do anything. Does have to at javelina start with a J? Do you have to do it at javelina? 100? I think it does start with a J. You have to at Javelina. Well, bro, we got a bunch on the agenda today. It's great to be back in the studio. Love our studio. Love all the pod love we're getting. I threw a little thing on our story. Cam Haines, just quick name drop into the next aid station. That was cool.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, okay, big dog Cam just listening to our pod. And our boy Taylor Spike put me onto it. He messaged me and he was like, hey, Cam was talking crap about you guys, and he was like, just kidding. He actually said something.
Oh, is that what he said?
He opened with like, Cam was hating on us, and I was like, and I just sat there, and I didn't respond. Then he hurried and messaged back and was like, just kidding, man. He complimented you guys, or however he worded it.
Well, you know how I don't do a lot with comments and
you do none. I'm very aware.
And all that stuff. But I'm a Cam Haines guy.
Yes, you are.
I like all those dudes, the Black Rifle Coffee guys, and Joe Rogan and Cam and all those dudes.
Yep.
So I was like, even though I'm not a comment guy, I thought that was cool. I'm like, this freaking Cam Haines, dude.
It was
badass.
Way cool, dude. It was cool. It's cool. We're coming up.
Fanboy.
Oh, super fanboy, dude. Did Jen love it when you're like, dude? I know you went straight over to Jen. Right?
He knows Jen. He knows who Jen is. But so she was very excited.
She's like, oh, dope.
Yeah,
that's cool. So, I got a couple billionaire stories.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with a couple billionaire stories that caught my attention over the last week. I was like, these are kind of fun to chat about. And then we're gonna jump into. I can't move on without talking more about Western. Western feels like the pre-race, the race, the post-race hangover. It feels like Cocodona. Like, you got to talk about it a couple episodes before and a couple after, because there's so many good stories and so much coming into it and coming out of it. I was like, I got a handful of Western stories, and then we will jump into a Hardrock preview.
Okay. Hey.
You good?
Shout out to Frank Layden, passed away.
I know, I saw that
Old
yesterday,
jazz
dude.
coach.
Yeah, shout out Frank. And, he was like a second father to Spence Checketts. Like, they're tight. Yeah.
Yeah, Spence Checketts, local ESPN radio guy. Played
out.
on your high school basketball championship team.
Go Braves.
Yep. Okay.
So here's my first story for you. Jerry Buss, owner of the Lakers forever. Okay. Jerry Buss bought the Lakers for $67 million the year I was born, 1979. Okay, so 46 years ago. His family just sold their shares, the majority stake of the Lakers, for 149x their money.
Oh, nice.
So they bought it for $67 million, sold it in 2025 for $10 billion.
10 bill.
$10 billion.
What did the Celtics go for? 6?
6 or 7?
And the Jazz were like
2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
So the Lakers for 10? Oh, I mean, okay.
I guess these sports franchises are going bonkers. But here's the crazy part about it, that I confirmed all this with my mathematician skills, ChatGPT, and they confirmed all of this stuff for me. The crazy part about that, it's been 46 years. If the Buss family would have just put the $67 million into the S&P 500 over that same 46 years, they would have today $13 billion.
Oh.
So you're like, oh, awesome return. 149 times your money, $10 billion. Can't complain. You're like, well, hold on. Like, if you'd have just stuck in the stock market over that same time period, you'd have had an extra $3 billion to your name. Does that blow your mind a little bit?
Well, hang on a sec, though. You would have had an extra $3 billion.
Yeah.
But the $67 million, they were creating revenue every year.
So they made money every year.
So that you would have to add to the 10 and all the fun.
Okay. I'm with you.
So who cares about the 3?
It was just a stat that I saw. I was like, wow, 3 extra billion. So the question would be, did the Lakers family, did the Buss family net more than $3 billion on an annual, right? Like year over year, winning all the titles, Magic, Shaq, Kobe, Worthy, Kareem, blah, 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 blah. Over 46 years, did they make an extra $3 billion in net earnings?
I don't know. Seems probably paid out a lot in the salary tax.
There's way too many zeros for me to even comprehend those numbers.
Yeah, but when you're that rich, it's just about the fun. It's about the experience. It's about building championship teams, about buying championship teams.
Buying, you didn't build nothing.
You know what I don't like about the Lakers?
Everything.
I was born in Downey, California, in LA. So my family, we were all big Laker fans.
Ew.
I know, but we moved to Utah in time. So then I became a Jazz fan. Anyway, I don't like trust fund kid.
Yep.
I'm not interested in seeing your house, trust fund kid. You want a tour? No? Give a shit. And that's the Lakers.
It is.
Oh, what a great organization. You run this so well, LeBron James. Here you go.
When Memphis just gave them Pau Gasol,
It's stupid.
they just were gifted Luka Doncic. Here you go, guys. Take Luka. He'll be the best player in the league for the next 10 years. You can have him.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. LA and all the stars and the money and the beach and all. Yeah, I get it. The huge market, tons of money, opportunity, all this stuff for the guys. That's fine. But I'm not interested in taking a tour of your estate because you didn't earn shit.
Being in Italy, it brought even more perspective to me, the big market teams in the NBA, the advantage they have. I went to an NBA store in Milan, Italy with Ty. Let's go check out the NBA store, right? The girls are shopping and their whatever stuff. And we're like, let's go to the NBA store. Kick it in there for a minute. They had all the big name jerseys and stuff, but it was very obvious to me. There were 3 teams in there that were the most.
The Knicks, the Lakers.
Celtics, Lakers, Bulls.
Oh, Bulls.
Yeah.
Not the Knicks?
No. Oddly enough, no. But I was like, okay. They did have 2 posts. They had a wall of like 90s pictures, and there's probably 8 to 10 pictures. It was like Olajuwon and this guy and that guy. They had one of Stockton and one of Malone.
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, that's cool. Yeah.
Because they were huge in the 90s.
Yep. So, billionaire story number 2.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg currently owns 349 million shares of the Meta platforms. Okay.
He's doing well.
Which recently closed trading at $718 per share. That means that Zuckerberg's Meta shares are worth $246 billion, up from $42 billion in 2023. So you're telling me Mark Zuckerberg, who was already the youngest billionaire ever, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, made $204 billion in the last 2 years just in appreciation in his Meta shares.
Oh my gosh. Well, he's not going to move any of them because he doesn't want to.
He doesn't need to move them.
I know.
You can borrow against those assets forever. He can do whatever he wants. Forever.
I have a Oculus too. We have a VR.
Yeah, so does my son.
There you go, Mark. I got you.
Got you too, Mark Dog.
I'm not on Facebook. Stupid Facebook.
It's stupid. I don't even have a Facebook account. I have held out my entire life. You cannot find me on Facebook. I don't have an account.
I'm out.
I got on Instagram only 2 years ago.
I'm on Instagram too, which he also owns. He owns it. He probably owns our company.
He does. Mark Zuckerberg, the new owner of DC Peaks.
Sweet.
Maybe our shares will go up.
Yeah, it'd be
$200 billion. Yeah. I'm on these I got onto these like billionaire clicks, just again, a Jake just rabbit hole while on vacation because Jeff Bezos was like getting married the same days that I was in Venice, Italy.
Oh.
He was there. Some big old, I don't even know what he was staying in, but like Italy
people had like a dummy of him that they like floated out.
Yeah, bro, Italy was like up in arms about it. Because
I don't even understand. Why are they so mad at him?
We could not figure out why everyone was against it.
Because he's so rich?
Because he wasn't going to be paying any Italian tax while he was there. I don't know.
Because he did something amazing, so everyone hates on him.
Yeah, I didn't understand
He should give more. We should take more of his money.
Yeah, he didn't earn it.
That's what they want.
So dumb. I'm like, okay, you know what? I was fresh out of soap last night. I ordered it at 9 p.m. and I woke up this morning and it was on my freaking doorstep. So, you know what? Bezos, you should be worth $500 billion. You just delivered soap to my front door. I didn't have to do anything. I clicked a button, swipe. $9 later, it's on my front porch. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. No one else was doing that.
No, sometimes I feel like they're just like down the street waiting. Like they know it's coming. And then we put in the order. They're like, go, 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 go.
Gotcha.
It's like faster than DoorDash.
It is. No, they're just in the neighborhood circling with toilet paper, soap, milk, just the common stuff you just buy. I don't know.
Why you don't buy milk on it? I bet you probably can.
I don't think you can.
Well, I'm not a milk guy.
I love, bro.
Do you slam bowls of cereal?
Every night between 9 and 10 p.m. It's before I go to bed, slam a big old bowl of it.
I used to do that. Here's the thing. I have to be way more careful than you do. Your body, your whole entire family, you can eat whatever the hell you want. You're not putting on any weight. If we have a conversation on this podcast about a bowl of cereal, I'll get like some gut going on.
You just start growing.
Yeah, I can feel it.
It starts getting fatter.
I got to be careful.
Okay, sorry. No milk. Soap, toilet paper, batteries.
Ball gags.
Leather.
I know. I got it. All the things you buy.
Whips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lube. Can't be raw dogging any of that stuff. All right. Number 3 thing I saw, which was flooding my Instagram feed. Francois Dane. I don't know if it's Dehane.
Dehaney?
It could be Dane.
Hey, what do you got on that? I say Francois Dehaney.
I think it's Dane.
Dane.
I believe it is Dane.
What? Dane?
Yep. He's one of the guys I talked about last episode.
We are terrible.
You know you've made it when you just use his first name. Everyone knows which Francois we're talking about.
We're saying that because his last name's hard to say.
Yeah, because he's just made it. Francois Dane sets the Nolan's 14 course record this last weekend.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very hard.
Bro, he did it in 35 and a half hours. It was essentially 100 miles and 45,000 feet of climb.
Yeah, he's a climbing fool.
And a ton of it, to do it, essentially, like a bunch of them, there's not trail up these. Like, you're just taking the next available route. Scurry, scramble.
Just whatever. It doesn't matter. Just get to the top.
Whatever brings you.
Well, there's different ways to start, right? You pick a route.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an FKT that's like you have to go in this order, or if it's just like, no, this just makes the most sense to do it in this order. But either way, Francois is back.
Cool.
And it was cool. I followed along, read some stuff.
What was the previous time?
More than 35, 33. I don't even know who held it, or I don't know. I just saw that he did it, and I was like, jeez.
Sweet.
Yeah.
FKT, not course record.
FKT course record as well. Okay. Yeah. He's a beast. Okay. Next item I had is we're going to trickle into Western states, because I gotta hit a number of things on Western states, because I can't mentally and emotionally move on.
Yeah.
From a number of these stories.
It's a very popular race, Jake.
I've heard of it.
The people will be okay with it.
States, as they say.
will not skip past this like they did our opening NBA rant.
Okay, so Jim Walmsley, who has been in hiding for the last several months. I don't think he's a big public guy anyway, as far as Instagram or Strava or doing interviews for I Run Far or whoever.
He doesn't seem to like that stuff
He
very
kind of
much.
recluses, right? The dude has like mad secrets, and he's like,
Whoa.
I'm keeping those for myself.
You mean like trail running secrets or like some juicy stuff?
Oh, I'm sure he's got the juicers too, but trail running specifically.
Yeah, when he talks, he's a little awkward. He's like kind of quiet, and I mean, I met him. I kicked it with him at the end of Speedo. He was very nice, but it doesn't seem like outgoing Sage candidate Instagram.
No, he doesn't care about any of that.
Yeah.
He just wants to destroy you on a course and then keep all the little secrets to himself. So, Single Track did an interview, and I was like, I'm listening to that, because how often does Jim hop on for an hour plus or whatever and just rap with people? So Finn and the boys did a great job interviewing him. This was before the race. This was before Western, but it was only on YouTube before, and I didn't get to see it because I was traveling. But then while I was doing a bunch more traveling, I was like, I got hours on trains and planes and automobiles. So I'm going to download a bunch of podcasts, and that was one of them. And there's a couple of things I want to bring up because I want to get your take on this. Jim Walmsley said on that podcast, if you're going to put on an elite bib, drop the pacers. It's like, I know it's safer and like everyone should enjoy the sport, and like grab a pacer. But like if you were going to top 10, essentially, like if you're going to be an elite runner in this, you don't need a pacer. Like no pacer needed. Huh. What do you think about that?
I mean, he's used pacers. What changed his mind?
In the past. He hasn't for a while.
Okay, so he has been raw dogging it.
He'd been raw dogging. He doesn't need a pacer.
Why? Who cares?
It's just his take, man.
But why, though? Does it give you a competitive advantage?
There's an advantage to it, yeah.
Why? Everyone has the same opportunity to have a pacer.
I don't know. But he was just saying that it's time to level up I'm going to read between the lines here and say that it's at the elite level. He wants to level that up.
Okay.
And there are two major things on the elite level side that is a lot of conversation. One is, if you're elite, get out there and run the race. You don't need a freaking pacer.
Okay.
Two is crew. Like number of people on your crew, and a lot more rules around the crewing structure. Because there's a massive advantage specific to Western. If you're stateside from California or you have means to have, like Caleb Olson had a crew, an A crew and a B crew, who essentially like were at every spot. But it's really hard for one crew to like jump from spot to spot. So Caleb gets two crews, where like a Killian or anyone traveling from Europe over here is like, they're lucky just to have like a couple people crew them at like maybe the 3 or 4 crucial spots. So major elite racing advantage. I mean, you saw the crews at freaking pit stopping.
Yeah.
Massive advantage. Well, Jim is essentially saying that on the elite level, yeah, like you don't need a pacer. Like
You probably don't. You don't need one.
But there's an advantage to having a pacer.
It's like Killian couldn't, with all the contacts he he couldn't have people lining up to be his crew, his B and C crew. It's not an advantage.
It is.
It's not a disadvantage because he lives in Spain or wherever he lives now.
Katie and Germain would absolutely disagree with you because I've heard them say it.
You don't think Killian Jornet could have 5 crews lined up in 1 second? One Instagram post.
Oh, sure, but that's not like I don't want
people you trust.
Yeah, I don't want to post. Hey, you want to come crew me? And think
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be
every...
that. It would be a contact. It would be like he would hit up a Hayden Hawks, who's not running, and be like, "Hey, you got me for my B crew," and Hayden would be there.
I just know that Katie Schide and Germain, when they come over, like it's a thing, dude, for them to go to states and have an equal level playing ground on a crewing perspective because they're not in the states.
Well, then they should reach out to their friends and ask them.
Sure. I'm just telling you their take, man.
You know, I thought you were going to say, instead of the crewing, I thought you were going to say trekking poles,
Oh,
which doesn't really matter for Western.
No.
But I'm pretty
No one went
sure
there.
I heard, I don't know this for a fact, don't quote me, but I think I heard Carl Meltzer giving some people a little bit of crap about
in which way?
about using poles. Like, they're not needed. Even though I swear I've seen him use them.
Yeah, I think
There's something there. Anyway, I was like, do you need poles? No poles, no crew, no pacers.
raw dog. Yeah, I mean, I understand what he's saying, and I'm like, I think that is a legit argument for like elites to be like, you don't need a pacer, like get through the night, have your course downloaded, be aware of the turns and this and that. Like, if he had a pacer in 2017, 16, he's not missing that turn at the end. When he's on course record pace, he's not missing that turn with a pacer, dude.
He didn't have a pacer then?
No.
I thought he had a pacer one year and dropped him.
He has done that before. Bro, he told a story on that on single track where like in his younger days, he would run harder if there was a cameraman behind him because he thought it was so funny to like try and drop the cameraman.
Oh, nice.
It was like his thing. He's like, some of those guys were like in good shape. I was like, dang, this guy's just keeping up with me. And then I would, after 10K or 5K, they'd be done. And then I would just regret it. Like, freak, dude. I just like burn a match trying to drop a cameraman.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay,
story.
this is interesting, actually.
Yes.
I mean, I could see like if I wouldn't be offended if they said no pacers.
Oh no, I would not be at all. I mean, if you're
But
gonna
if
be
you're
elite-
saying, but if you're like, you can have one crew, and you put in a rule. You're like, you can have one crew at each aid station. That's allowed, 4 people. Then you just leave it alone.
yeah,
If somebody has the resources to have one of like 5 different crews, good
at
for
every
them.
crewable spot.
But I wouldn't say you can't do that.
Yeah, it is certainly discussion going on throughout the sport, and I think if you want Western to attract more of the elite Europeans, that levels the playing ground because the Europeans certainly believe that U.S. elite athletes, have an advantage when it comes to crewing at Western.
Do they not have crewing in Europe
They do have it.
to the advantage of the Europeans?
I don't think it's anything like Western. Like UTMB is super. I think UTMB, if I remember reading the rules right, you got one person. You get one person to go in their big crewing spaces because they got like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 runners. So it's easy to be like no pacer because we're already feeding 2,000 of you and worried for you and concerned for you. So no pacer.
What if it's not the biggest
Out.
race in the world, though?
And then-
what if it's just another race over in Europe?
Okay, like Lavaredo. No pacers allowed at Lavaredo. 120K. Like that's a freaking 30-hour cutoff. That was a hard race. No pacers were allowed, and I was like, cool, that's fine.
If
I'm
you
not
s-
elite. I don't
if
need
you
a-
leaned in and you're like, if you want to do this race, then you have to use drop bags and no pacers. Drop bags and use the food at the aid stations.
I mean, yeah, I think there's a balance, right? I think you could go. I would super align with no pacer, and like 1 to 2 people at your crew. I think once you get to 4+, it's a big advantage, dude. Like you've seen those guys. They roll in, pack off, pack on, water, ice. They're in and out. Caleb, on his interview on Single Track, Caleb was like, yeah, we were shooting for less than a minute at every aid station. You're not doing that in 30 seconds without an army doing it all, prepping it all. Everything's ready to go. Out.
Unless
Advantage.
you like prepped a drop bag with another pack or something. Like you'd have to get real strategic with it.
Which is what I did in Tahoe last year. The first 2 spots, they were crewable spots. They were drop bag spots. But I just prepped my drop bags with my 500 milliliters full. I had all my stuff. But that was probably 2 minutes at the aid station, not 30 seconds. Huge advantage.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So I would foresee specifically Western states making more rule changes at the elite level for the next several years to come. I think they tighten the screws to make it more competitive, more level playing field for all athletes.
Well, my initial reaction was like, no, that's stupid. And then the more we talk about it, and the more I bet like over a year of thinking about it, talking about it, I bet I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Okay, and then you take it up another level and say, okay, well, how do those rules affect a Cocodona 250? Because now I've got Lavaredo 120 behind me, and now this is the first time you're hearing me talk about Bigfoot. And I've got that on the calendar in 4 weeks. And in Bigfoot, I am so focused now on getting in and out of those aid stations so fast. I ain't sitting there. I will when I need to. But my goal will be to improve my stoppage time from Tahoe to Bigfoot, to improve my time at Bigfoot in preparation for 2026 Cocodona 250. Like this is our test run of how quick can you get in and out of aid stations at a multi-day event. Now you're really talking about massive advantage. A freaking 2-3 day race, no sleep, no whatever, like in and out of those spots quick, huge advantage.
That's not an advantage though. That's just a strategy that you can risk and go for it or not.
But okay.
Everybody has the same, like it's not a competitive advantage. Like Western, you're in and out in 30 seconds or a minute, and you're winning these races on such a
thin margin. But I think that Cocodona is going that same route. A 250 miler, those margins are going to get thinner and thinner.
They will, but I'm like, how quickly were you in and out of aid stations, on average? 15 minutes
At Tahoe?
Or yeah, Tahoe.
We wrote down my stoppage time. I did all the math on it, and I think it was like an hour and a half or 2 hours over the whole
Total
race.
20. Was there 20 aid stations?
Well, there was like I don't know, 12 or 15 aid stations.
Oh, that's all there was?
Not because like every 20 miles, so call it 10 aid stations. I think it might have been 11, but there were the first several that I was just like in and out, in and out, in and out. I didn't like. I think that you got to go for like under an hour.
But that's a strategy,
right? But you can't move that fast on your own. Or if you're the only person crewing me, how much longer am I sitting there?
Yeah, I mean, Harry had a crew of 4, I think.
Yeah, dude, I had 2 people.
He won it.
Changing my socks and shoes, washing my feet. I had someone massaging my shoulders. I had someone grabbing food. I had someone filling up my pack. I mean, I had like a whole team. No way I'm moving that fast on my own. I was very slow at mile 59. No, 55-ish. No, yeah, whatever. 55, 59 at Lavaredo. It was a crewable aid station, and I didn't have my crew there because it was just too out of the way, and I was like, I'll see you at the finish, whatever. I was at the aid station for like 20 minutes, but I only needed like 5 minutes there. I was like, okay, I got to fill my bladder up. I got to get some food. I got to... I'm telling you, it would have been 3 to 5 minutes if I had a crew there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it is interesting.
Yeah, I think
Give you that.
Screws will be tightened. The other thing that he said on there that really got me thinking next level for athletes is, dude, he said that he's running fast enough to run. That we are. He said we. I think he might have said I am fast enough to run a sub 14 Western States.
Agreed.
Last year, Rod's stoppage time in the whole, Rod Farvard, who took second last year, had 11 minutes of stoppage time. This is 11. He said Dan and Hayden, who ran a ton of the race together as homies, right? They were 13 minutes of stoppage time. You know what Jim's stoppage time was last year when he ran what he ran last year? 4:11? Can't remember what he ran. I think 4:11.
9.
He said it was 33 minutes of stoppage time.
What? No way.
Yeah.
He was 20 minutes more than them?
And just ran faster. So to his point, he's like,
That's the strategy I was just talking about.
he's like, we're running fast enough to go sub 14. All the improvement is there at the aid stations. But he said his stoppage time was 33. It blew me away.
That's crazy.
That he was 20 minutes more of stoppage time than them, and then just outran them.
Well,
So to his point,
I don't know.
that and in Caleb's interview, that he was referencing a lot of the same stuff. Caleb was like, when he ran his 1440 his first year, he knew there was tons of time. He was conservative on the first 50K. He knew the strategies of the aid stations. He could be way faster. Like having your crew literally practice and dry run. Okay, Caleb's coming in. Swap. You're on this. You're on that. Pop, 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 pop. 33 seconds. Boom, I'm out of here.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know how Killian's time when he first ran it,
Yeah.
whenever it was,
2010.
he cut like an hour off of it, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible in 50 years from now that somebody runs this like a marathon?
How do you mean?
Just rolling.
They don't stop.
I'll grab a cup from you as I run through the aid station.
Oh, like throw me a goo from the...
You know how you run a marathon?
Yeah, you don't stop.
The guys from Kenya and all that, yeah, they don't stop. They're just rolling. Do you think that it's possible to jump from what Killian did to now and then just to keep going?
Another big jump like that?
Another big jump, even if it's 100 years. And have some baller just change everything. Or maybe it evolves to that, but just run it through like a marathon. You're still getting aid. You're just grabbing it as you go.
I mean, to your point last time was like, these guys aren't even eating like at the aid stations.
No, I don't think they do.
They go fluid calories, fluid carbs, and then they swap out their, whatever they're eating, slurping.
Yeah.
Throw the trash out, put the new ones in, and run.
Or if you just take your hydration pack off, run into the aid station, toss it to them, grab it, throw it on as you're running out.
Dude, that is literally what I'm envisioning for Bigfoot 200. I have a second running pack that someone gave me for free last year. I have 2 running packs now. I've never worn the second one. I'm going to start training in the second one, this training block, so that it is just ready to go. And then we leapfrog packs. You grab my phone and the Destination Trails tracking device, swap those 2 things, give me the pack, and I'm gone.
But is there a diminishing return? Is the human body, or does the human body bounce back better with a couple minutes of aid and rest? And
I would say it's training, the pace and effort that you're giving during the race, and how well you can take in your nutrition while in between aid stations. If those 3 things are synced, I do not need to sit in the chair for 20 minutes and recover.
So Rod did it in 11.
11 minutes stoppage time.
Could you get it down to 1? Essentially, I'm not stopping.
I mean, I think no. I would say no, because to your point last time, our last pod was like, the primary purpose of stopping is you got to refuel that stuff. And I think that's like reason 1A, and then 1B is all like topical cooling. Ice bandanas, dump water on you. Like, you got to take
Okay, so
20 seconds.
Dump water on me.
Ice
5 seconds.
Ice bandana me. Just put it on my head as I run by.
Yeah.
And have a hose. Just
I'm in and out of these things in 10 seconds. And I'm not saying right now today. I'm saying, can it get there?
And I think some of them you can skip. You got to be able to run right through some of them.
Someday, somewhere out there, someone's going to be born and be able to do this.
If we get a cloud-covered Western day, just cloud coverage, and it's a 72-degree high with cloud coverage, sure.
Could you run DC Peaks without stopping?
Are you going to hand me a pack at Farmington?
Sure. Just you're just
Sure.
in it. Just toss it to me and you keep going. Just like I want it to be just like a marathon.
Yes. It's only 50 miles.
Okay. And some
then do it again.
some of these people are almost twice as fast as you.
They are, certainly.
Okay. So it leads me to believe that it is possible.
Yeah. To just toss them the pack, drop your pack, toss. So you're less than 15 seconds at any stoppage.
Yeah.
So your total stoppage is like 5 minutes or less on the
I
whole
want it
course.
to be like 1 minute.
Okay. Deal.
But that's not like the marathon. In the marathon, it's 0.
Right. It's just you cannot afford a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next note that I had on here, Jim revealed that he had an early April cortisone shot. He was like doing PRP. Didn't you get a PRP?
I did
thing?
both of those.
Okay. He did that in May. Couldn't bike or run for 2 weeks. And then he was like slowly, now he's like slowly building up and has like a 6-week recovery schedule. So he's like coming back right now. This was like his schedule right now that he bailed from the race. And bro, he is in Silverton this weekend pacing Ludo.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's there. He's going to pace Ludo Pomeroy this weekend.
Does Ludo
Tomorrow.
know that Jim's judging him?
Yes. They've been like homies for years. Yeah. And he said on there that his next race, depending on how the recovery goes, will either be Sierra Zenal or UTMB or the U.S. Long Trail Championships, unless he has more setbacks. So hopefully we see Jim at UTMB and then the U.S. Long Trail Championships. If not, I think he does Sierra Zenal and then the U.S.
How far is Sierra Zenal?
It's like a 25K or something.
That's the one we watched?
That's the one Killian has won like 10 times.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. I really think he should come do DC Peaks. Come on, man.
If he has a setback, we'll send him an invite.
This is the time.
This is the year.
year.
This is the year for him. Yeah. Screw the U.S. Long
Come
Trail
set the
Championships.
course record that will never be beaten.
Actually, he could run U.S. Long Trail Championships and then the next week just come still set the course record.
Hit him up.
I will. I'll DM him. Okay. On to Hardrock Week. This week at Hardrock, it starts, today's Thursday the 10th. It starts Friday, 6 a.m. It's tomorrow. 7-Eleven day. Slurpee day.
I'll be down there standing in line to get a free Slurpee.
Stand in line for 4 hours to save 99 cents on my free Slurpee.
Absolutely. I'm a big crowd guy.
Big wait in line guy. So 146 runners.
Jeez.
I know. And only 32 females.
I don't like that.
I know it should be all men.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Why are any women racing Hardrock?
Why are they allowing females to run this race?
I don't know. Somewhere along the line, people were like equal rights and Title IX and whatever. So
You know what's so funny about that? Katie is so fast.
Katie's gonna top 5,
Dude.
Yes.
I wish there needs to be more females.
I don't know.
Jokes aside.
There's all these rules, and I don't know which rule Hardrock falls under.
Listen, in any aspect of life, you go to a bar, you go to your dance, anything, anywhere, a gym. If there's ladies there, it's a better party. It's more fun. They're more fun.
Strip club?
No, I mean, more guys there is fine.
Oh.
The dancers you're talking about.
No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
talking about the
more
dance.
guys. No, but you it's more fun. When
Thunder
there's-
Down Under.
Yeah, I used to dance in that.
Yeah, you were good.
Thanks, bro.
You were good.
Anyway, let's get that up to like 60-40 if we can.
I'm sure Hardrock has some equal opportunity math stats. I recall this somewhere, that it's a percentage of the people who apply. That's the percentage of people that get in. Something like that. Isn't that right? Scott, I swear can someone validate me here? But
Less than 1% of people who apply get it.
right, but a percentage of men who apply, that percentage gets awarded a ticket? They don't do that there. Oh, Leadville does.
Dude,
Leadville does that.
you remember, I don't know if you never went to clubs.
No.
Okay, I did.
I
a
missed
lot.
the club scene in my life.
There'd be a line to get in the club. Some hot girls come walking in. You just let me just hit this little rope and let you right in.
I'm in.
Yeah, because that draws
Dudes.
and money. So and it's a vibe. They should just let more women in.
I agree. I
don't even know why fully I feel that way. I just think it's more fun when there's a mix.
I don't care about equal. Whatever. Equal is like people have their own definition of equal. I'd like to see the scale be not so lopsided. I'll phrase it that way.
But if you like said why exactly why do you feel that would be like I don't know. It just feels more fun.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know why.
I can't believe there's only 32. 32? It's this tiny number, but the number is small to begin with when it's only 146. So I'll get off that for a second, but let's review the women and then the men since we are talking about only 32 females. Not a whole lot to choose from when you're like, okay, there's 32. How do you pick a podium? Well, that's easy. It's Katie Schide's race to lose. Everyone on earth agrees. My question would be, can she overall podium? Question number 1, can she overall podium? 2, does she beat Germain?
I need to see the full men's list.
Okay.
Because my initial reaction is that yes, she can.
She can?
That she can, yes.
Okay, there's 3 French dudes who are going to run with Zach Miller. Those 4, she's got to beat one of them, and one of them has to DNF. That's how she podiums.
Yeah, carnage.
One carnage spot, and she ends up having a better day than the other one, and she lands on the podium. Because I think Courtney, if I remember right, she has won it like 3 years in a row.
She was like 4th, right?
5th, maybe?
Something.
4th or 5th last year. So Katie is steamrolling into this thing fresh and just doesn't lose lately. So this is the only big one that she hasn't won, dude. She's won Diagonal Defoe. She's won UTMB. She's won Western. This is
setting course records too.
This is the big one that she needs. Barring any crazy upset, it's hers to lose. Mm-hmm. I'll say it's hers to lose, but I do think she can lose tomorrow. I do. I do think she can lose. So,
I mean, can by a DNF?
No, I think she can finish the race and lose. She could have stomach. She could have just not a great day. Someone else could just be firing on all cylinders. Her and Germain have been over there. They've been in Silverton, Uray area for 3-ish weeks. So they've been living there for called a month. Fully locked in, full send.
Yeah. When you're doing something as difficult as Hardrock, she can lose. But if she finishes this race, I think it's going to be F1.
Yeah, for sure. I think she finishes F1. Does she beat Germain? Is there an in-house rivalry bet?
I don't know if there's a bet, but they're both thinking it.
There's got to be a bet. Unless Germán is like,
You ain't beat me.
yeah, and she's like, I know. Unless she's like, I can beat you. I can beat you.
He's like, no, you can't.
She's a competitor, dude.
He's all, you're just a girl.
You're I will make my bold prediction once we review the men's, but that is top of mind for me.
I want her to podium.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want her to podium.
I want her to beat. Yeah, let's go.
Beat Germán. Beat him.
Sometime. The overall winner.
Yeah. I mean, it's her or Courtney. I don't know
Wouldn't that
who.
be fun?
It will happen. It will absolutely happen. Because it's a climbing, mountainous, steep, very difficult.
Let's pick her to win it. Let's do it. Let's be the first ones. Let's just be like, yeah. I mean, she's going up against the course record holder, I think.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll tell you this much.
What was Ludo's time?
Last year?
Yeah.
He set the course record. Scroll up. I've got it on there. 21:45.
Oh,
But this direction, everyone, the consensus is counterclockwise, which is the odd year. Counterclockwise is harder.
okay.
But the course records between, on the men's side, counterclockwise or clockwise, is only like 12 minutes difference. But everyone agrees that the counterclockwise is harder, which I think favors Katie to overall win.
Okay. What was Courtney's time?
26. Scroll down, Scott.
26.
Yeah. Courtney ran a 26:14.
Just after Western, though, she wasn't.
So counterclockwise, right? She ran a 26:14
Oh.
course record. Last year, she ran clockwise 26:11.
Okay. Hang on a
And
second.
Katie and Courtney has not ran a perfect race, bro. She was like puking up potatoes, mashed potatoes stuff.
Then no, she's not beating Ludo.
I think Katie,
No.
potentially a female will run a sub 24. I don't know if this is the year, but there is plenty of time to shave.
That's. She got to cut off 3.5 hours.
5 hours.
No, I mean even if she got to 24. No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think she's awesome and I'm cheering for her, but that's a lot of time.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, no, I don't see it. It will happen in our lifetime. A female will overall win Hardrock.
I know how she'll do it
It
too.
ain't happening this year.
No aid stations.
Just in and out.
Marathon style.
Mixed style.
Katie, call me up. I got the strategy for you.
Okay, the other is in contention that I like on the female side.
How in the hell? She is so fast, and Courtney's so fast. How are they beating? He beat her by 6 hours?
No, 5. 5 hours. Because they're doing like 8 miles in like 3 hours. Like,
He beat second place by 3 hours.
yeah, bro, Ludo
Ludo's
beat second place by
crazy.
3 hours and set the course record.
Over 50?
He turns 50 later this month.
Oh, he's 40.
He's 49 in like 50 weeks or something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give him the old 50.
That number is just crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No.
Like, do you think he can repeat that?
Of course he can.
Okay. Do you think he will?
Course record conditions from what I hear on course. I follow a lot of stuff this week. Very little snow. Temps are like low 70s.
Oh.
They're expecting a little bit of rain Saturday.
Ooh, okay, that's nice.
So like things are lining up for a strong effort.
He's got Jim pacing him.
I'll say this.
Huge advantage.
Bro, guess who else is, well, we'll get to who
Okay.
else is pacing him. But the reason Katie won't overall win this year is I think the men's sets a course record. I think Katie sets the female record, and I think that the men push the pace because of the 3 Frenchmen and Zach Miller, I think the 4 of them go out hot and they go hard.
When there's Frenchmen in it, it's like scary to pick against them. This happened before. Remember this?
Yes. So the men's storyline that I would have is it an all French? Two of them are.
They just climb different, dude.
Bro, is it an all French podium? And
It could easily be.
or does a U.S. man finally win Hardrock? Like, it's been a long time, dude, since on the men's side we saw a U.S. dude win it.
Who was the last one?
Jeff Browning,
Jeff Brownie.
like 10 years ago.
Oh.
Maybe Scott can fact check me. Maybe it's not 10. Maybe it's like 7, like right before COVID, I think. But it was like Ludo, Francois, Killian again, Francois. It's like those dudes.
Oh, Rillian Dunon-Palaz.
Aurelien de Nompalaz won it a few years ago. So, yeah, I want to say it's been a freaking decade, dude. Like back when Jeff was, 10 years ago, he was what, 49? Jeff's what, 60?
10 years ago when he was
When he was 49?
58. It's not funny. I love Jeff.
He was 46 years old.
2018.
Yeah, 2018, the last time a U.S. dude won it. So that is a storyline on the men's side. But let me get back to the female. Sorry.
All right, okay, go.
Katie Schide, Katarina Hartmuth. She was F3 last year. And she won Tour de France this fall.
So she can climb.
The big hoss.
Yeah.
So she's experienced hard rock, mountainous climber, sufferer.
What was her time in last year?
Katarina,
Yeah.
And
30 hours.
30 spot.
yeah, which probably placed her, what, 10th or 12th?
9th overall.
I think 10,
Ninth.
yeah, 10, I kind of always felt like
30 hours is
10.
Yeah, because Jose and other people we've seen there. The other one that I really like is, of course, a French climber, Manon Beauhard. I'm probably murdering that, but she won Diagonal des Faux in, I think it's in October 2024, just barely, 10 months ago. So she can climb. She's from France. She's awesome. I think she can rival Katie.
Ooh, fun.
I think she can rival, meaning like I expect those two to be racing in the top 10 all day. I don't know how long they'll stay together, if at all, but I think they'll be together. And then we did talk a few weeks ago about Stephanie Case. She's dope. She'll be there.
She'll be out there bouncing around.
Yeah, trampoline and cube in hand. She'll be ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Well, I will be a little surprised if Katie doesn't win by a half hour.
I mean, I'd be surprised if she didn't win by a couple hours. I think it's Katie Schide, Manon Beauhard, Katarina Hartmuth. That's our podium.
Bet.
Not really going out on a limb. I think I would just went chalk with that. But I think that's likely to happen.
What about who's going to take 8th? We need to get into that.
Oh, yeah, 8th place on the women's side?
Uh-huh.
Hillary Yang. I don't know. Billy Yang's wife, Hillary, is racing.
8th.
Hillary Yang will take 8th.
Dude, if you know that, I'm going to die. That's what matters.
Everyone knows it's 8th place.
I'm not really
Podium,
interested in what Katie Schide does. I want to know what 8th place does.
Yeah. On the men's side, if you'll scroll up, my guy, Zach Miller almost raced last year and then had to pull out, but he dropped some weight. Didn't he drop like an appendix or something?
That's the weight he lost.
Was that what did he have removed? His appendix or his gallbladder?
He had appendicitis.
I don't know if it was removed.
Appendicitis. I don't know.
It was removed, and then he wanted to run, and the doctor said he couldn't.
They did remove it?
They removed his appendix, so he's running faster, clearly. He's carrying less weight,
But he hasn't. Yeah, he's probably eating. He's probably like me and eating cereal at night.
So, I don't know.
You want to win. You want him to win.
Dude, like,
I know.
The American in me is like, we need to represent, because we just represented strongly at Western, men's and women's, and at Lavaredo. And it's time for the men to keep the Hardrock crown and be the first to kiss the rock. I, more than anyone in the entire field, am cheering for Zach Miller. I want to see that happen. I don't know if I don't know. I'm not super impressed is the wrong word, but
Confident?
yeah, like he took 7th at Trans Gran Canaria in February.
Caleb won that.
Yes. Caleb won that. No, he did not.
He didn't?
No.
Oh, that's a 22K. What's the one that Caleb won?
The 100 miler at Trans Gran Canaria?
Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
He won Trans Gran Canaria. Caleb did.
Okay.
But
But it's a different distance.
Trans Gran Canaria has a 120 kilometer
Okay. I'm
with
with you.
22,000 feet of vert. So very similar to like a Lavaredo.
Oh,
You know who won that race? You don't. I didn't either, but then I saw his name. Raul Octavio Butacci. He just took 2nd at Lavaredo.
okay.
And
Right up his alley, huh?
So he beat Zach. He took 1st. And the M5 was Zhang Shen. So Shen beat Zach. So Zach took 7th, but I'm trying to determine what exactly does M7 at Trans Gran Canaria mean for Zach Miller going into this race with other elites. Who's he getting beat by? Who's he beating? Those were the first 2 names that came to mind at that event. So to say I'm not impressed with an M7, I mean, he took 7th at Trans Gran Canaria. Amazing.
Was that was his first race back?
He's like his first like big staged event back. Yeah. Like dust off the
Ring
cobwebs.
rust.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go down Germain's resume, Ludo's, and Mathieu Blanchard. And then you tell me if Zach Miller can beat one of these Frenchmen or all 3 of them. Germain, DNF UTMB in August, DNF Diagonal Defoe in October.
Okay.
Then he raced the 73K Chianti, just barely in March, won it. And he was M5 in April at the Madeira Island in Portugal, which is also 120 kilometers with 21,000 feet of climbing. And you know who took 3rd in that race? Our boy, Raul Butacci.
Oh, jeez.
So Raul, the fact that he won Trans Gran Canaria 120K and then he took 3rd in this, like, that dude's awesome. He just is not in Hardrock. But that dude, and then he took second behind Ben Demon at Lavaredo.
He likes those climbing ones.
That distance, 120 kilometers and 20K vert, that dude's a world-class specialist.
Yeah.
So Germain, his resume doesn't look great in the last 12 months either.
Agreed.
DNF, UTMB, Diagonal Defoe.
Do you know why he DNF'd UTMB?
Because everyone did. Everyone DNF'd.
I know, but was it like Jim where he was injured, or did he David Roach it?
I don't know. I mean, Mathieu Blanchard DNF'd as well. Everyone did, which kind of paved the way for Vincent. But it just happens.
Blanchard is fast, dude.
I think it was everyone went out at a fast pace, the heat, and it was just like crash, crash, crash. Okay, Ludo.
Yeah.
The reigning champ, course record holder, beating Killian's course record time
Yep.
last year. He also 6 weeks later went to UTMB and took 5th. And this Grand Raid Vento in France in April took 2nd. And then he took, which is like 120K and 21,000 feet of climbing. These races all over there are that, apparently. They're all Lavaredo. 120K with 20K of climbing. This dude, Mathieu Simon, beat Ludo in that race. And here's where I get to Ludo's pacers for Hardrock. This might be his greatest advantage. Not his course record, not that he's almost 50. He holds the course record and should be feared wearing bib 1. He holds the course record, yes. But, bro, his pacers at Hardrock, Jim Walmsley and Vincent Bouillard.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
How much faster do they make him? How much of an advantage is it for him?
You can't
to have those
much
two
better
dudes?
than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it feel like he's the favorite?
I think he's the favorite.
Like, why would we assume otherwise?
He moved to Colorado the first week of June. I want to say it was like June 5th or 4th or something like that. He's done 2 full soft rocks. So he's been all over the course.
I've never heard of that. I don't know what soft rocks is.
Soft rock is the hard rock course over like 3-4 days. So you go do the entire course and then camp out. You do like a 50K, camp out, 50K, camp out, 50K. There's your race.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We
should do that.
Dude, I could finish hard rock.
We should do a soft rock.
Oh, I couldn't finish hard rock.
Bro, Hard Rock has a 48-hour cutoff. You don't think you're finishing? Yes, you are.
It would take me all 48 hours.
Great. Just like it does lots of those 146 people. You finish. You just hike around. It's a through hike, bro.
Yeah, if I through hike it.
You hike it and just jog down the descents, then just take a rest, eat,
Sleep.
like you do. Hike again. You know what else is cool about Hard Rock? They don't have a mandatory gear list.
Oh. They're pretty high up there, too.
All the UTMB races, the destination trail races, lots of them are like, they have a whole freaking page of crap. Pants, jacket, hooded, rainproof, whistle, bivvy, blah, this whole thing.
Hard rock's like, well, if you don't want to die, you should probably
Pay attention.
bring some stuff.
Which I think the fact that it takes 8 to 10 years to get into that race, you have raced every single year a Hard Rock qualifier, which is a mountainous 100. By the time you get in, you've been doing ultras usually 7, 8, 10 years. You should know what to pack and how long you're going to be on course. I love that they don't have a required gears checklist.
The other races
I love it.
feel like they're Disneyland, and they have to set the rules and protect the passengers on their rides.
Yeah.
And
Okay, when you come to packet pickup, bring your stuff, and we're going to check it all off and make sure you have everything, okay? You're going to have a great day out there. We're just going to go ahead and make sure you got your pants in there and your jacket.
I will say,
gloves.
let me say this. They don't, maybe some do. We never got checked. They don't check your gear.
Destination Trails.
Said that and didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
I brought my, not on race day.
That's what I'm saying.
When I got my bib the day before, I had to have my pack and everything.
Yeah,
I
it's like
showed them.
weigh-ins when you actually fight your 20 pounds more. During
yeah,
the
yeah,
race,
yeah.
when shit could have actually
Yeah.
happened, nobody checked you.
And UTMB, quote unquote, threatens that they could check your pack at any given time. And we're going to make sure you got everything in there.
But don't you want them to protect the runners?
I don't want them to do that. I don't
Their
protect
race,
the
their
runners.
rules.
Protect the runners? I'm going to protect you by putting you on course for 20 hours in the middle of nowhere. Good luck. I'm protecting you. Stop. It's all CYA, insurance, lawyers. Bleh. That's what that is. I got to make sure.
No, lawyers didn't. Nobody told us we had to have that on our race.
Right. But think of all the bigger races. You're UTMB. Let's just use the biggest.
I don't think it's going to be that. Like, I'm just thinking of the process of getting insurance for it.
Not for that race, but for the business.
Okay. Oh, sure. But for the liability insurance for the race, they don't ask you. They don't ask you much.
It's OSHA, bro. They're OSHA.
But they're not. They're just like, pay us money and you're covered. Best of luck. Hope it doesn't snow on your ass.
Yeah. Hope if it gets cold up top or lightning or rain, you are prepared.
I think that it would be good to just be like, hey, here's a list in case you forget anything of some common items people might want to bring.
Most of them do have a recommended list.
Yeah.
UTMB has a mandatory required and a recommended, and I think Destination does too.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jamil does. I think they do too in all those races. I think those are all, they do something similar. I think when you get big enough and you have a bunch of races, there's a ton of like CYA, like you got to make sure that you're not going to get sued by some crazy whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, then don't sign up, dude.
But I mean, you
sign the waiver.
You have your waiver, and you say in there like, these are the thing. I'm a human being. If I were going to do this race, I would take these items. You're a grown man. Have fun.
Or woman, thank you.
But I wasn't speaking to them.
They're
at
smart
that
enough.
Particular moment.
They're smart enough to have everything they need.
Yeah, they pack. They pack way better than
We
men
think
do.
we can just go knock it out with a day pack. Yeah, so anyway, I think it's really cool that Hardrock doesn't have a required list of gear. I think it's cool. I think it's great. I'm so in.
No pacers, no crewing, no required gear. Wild West. Come run DC Peaks, baby. I'll see you on CNN.
See you on Fox News and CNN, and the Washington Post and the New York Times. We'll be there. Okay, back to our other list. Our last Frenchman we need to highlight is Mathieu Blanchard, DNF UTMB, M1 at Diagonal des Faux. It's got my attention. The dudes that he beat.
That's some climbing.
Bro, he beat Jean-Philippe Schumi. He beat Ben Demon, who took M3rd. M3rd? He took M3. And Diego Pazos, M4. We know that name as well. He was 2 hours after third place Ben Demon. Which means Mathieu smoked. Diagonal des Faux is 108 miles and 33,000 feet of climbing.
It's pretty close to Hardrock.
And he won it 10 months ago.
Yeah, he's a beast, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, me too. He's Podium.
Okay. The other names to discuss, David Ayala, Bozeman, Montana guy. I don't even recall, like, he may not even have a UTMB index score. He might. He's kind of like a Chepe. He could sneak up on some people. He's like a bighorn, I'm tough, like winning, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I saw his name on there. I was like, yep, I like him to top 10. He might be a 30-hour guy, though, but he also might surprise somebody.
That would, I mean, top
and
10.
pull off a 23-hour. He might.
Okay. So he's on the watch list.
He's on my watch list. Others on the watch list. Kyle Curtin. Ryan Birch. Our guy, Cody Draper. I think he can top 10. I think he can put together a 30-hour. I do think he can do a 30-hour hard
It
rock.
seems like he's had a nice training block.
Oh, yeah. He's been living out there, dude, for like 3 weeks. Kyle Markovic is in this race?
Yeah.
Oh, I texted him when he got in.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just been 7 months. Ian Ferris.
Oh, yeah.
All local goat. Preston Wood.
Cody and Preston both in. That's great.
I would like to see Cody Draper, Kyle Markovic, Ian Ferris. They're all going to be racing, if I were to just guess.
For 10th?
For 10th. They're racing for 10th. I think we'll find those three somewhere between 9 and 15.
Sure.
That'll be awesome.
That's great.
I think those dudes are pushing for 30 hours. I kind of see them in that realm. Jamil Curry, who just finished Western, 29 hours, is doing the Western Hardrock double.
Wait, he did Western?
Yeah, bro, he drew out in the lottery in both.
Wait, I thought I saw him on the live stream, just live streaming.
Maybe he stopped for a quick live stream.
He ran?
He ran, bro. He finished 29-0 something.
He's just running. He's like, hang on a second, and goes over and like fixes some camera
Oh,
stuff.
this is way off. The audio sounds terrible. Yeah.
I remember hearing that he got into both of them.
I wonder who else is doing both of those races. I don't know anyone, any big names. They're only 13 days apart this year. A lot of years are like 3 weeks apart.
Oh, yeah,
13 days apart.
That's rough.
So, good luck, Jamil. Get it done, dog. Get it freaking done. Just kiss the rock. Get your belt buckle.
He will.
Okay, so to our podium. I feel like it's between those four, and I don't know how else to say thanks, but no thanks, and sorry to everyone else, but I think the world would agree. It's Zach Miller and the three Frenchmen battling it.
Oh, I was like, you're just so confident to put him on there, huh? That's where I thought you were going.
Oh. No. Who do you like? Do you want to go top 5? You want to go top 3? You want to pick your winner?
I think we've already done our mentions, so we got to pick a podium.
Okay.
This isn't a 5 podium. I hate that crap.
It makes sense in a bigger race. This is a smaller race.
I'm not talking about picking on a podcast. I'm talking about an actual podium.
Yeah,
that we've seen.
There's no real podiums with 5.
No,
That's
I
you're
hate it.
celebrating inclusivity.
No, I'm
Who
not.
freaking cares?
I'm not. Everybody gets a trophy, guy.
A podium is 3.
Yeah.
Good job if you top 5 or top 10, but a podium is 3.
All right. I think Mathieu Blanchard and Ludo are my top 2 picks.
Okay.
Okay. Can you scroll that? Yeah, right there. I mean, I very much want Zach Miller on the podium.
Okay.
I just don't like when he is world class. So, but it scares me when Frenchmen are in it.
I know. And all 3 of those dudes. I don't know about Mathieu Blanchard.
I don't want to sleep on him because he's talented enough to do it. And I'm cheering for him, so I want him to do it. In my heart, Zach Miller is on the podium. But I'm just like,
who's he going to scooch off of there? German and Katie have been over there for 3 weeks. Ludo has been over there for over a month. I don't know how long Mathieu Blanchard's been there. I did not see or hear. So they're like locals at this point.
okay.
On course every day, sleeping and living and running at altitude.
Ludo, Mathieu, and Germain. That's a pretty good podium.
Did you just leave Zach off the podium?
I just said it was a good podium, and it is. Everything I said was true.
It's a great podium. Uh-huh.
Ooh. Crap. What do you think?
I am going to give you my top 5
No.
overall.
You can do that, but you're picking a podium.
I am. In essence, I will pick a podium.
Oh, you're going to... Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, go.
I am going to say 5 is Germain.
Okay. I called him Germain.
You did. Germain.
Get a quesadilla. I think you're saying it wrong, white boy.
I know. 5.
Well, they're white, too.
5 Germain.
American boy.
I'm white, too. 5 Germain. 4, Katie Schide.
Whoa. Hang on. I heard you.
3, Zach Miller. 2, Matthew Blanchard. 1, Ludo Pomeray.
To repeat.
Repeat and set the course record. He will own both course records at the same time.
All right. I feel in my soul that Matthew Blanchard is going to win this thing.
I cannot argue.
I just do.
Okay.
I think Ludo. It's hard to pick him to. It's almost like something's got to go wrong, and it's not his day, and he's like 8th. Because if he's in second,
If
it's
he's
like
in,
then.
if he's in second to Matthew, Matthew's younger, faster, stronger. He just beat him. He might just beat him.
I'm picking Blanchard to win it. Okay, I like Ludo at number 2. Give me some Zach, number 3.
Okay. We both took Zach M3. Okay. Then
Germain.
Then Katie at 5th. No?
Nope.
You think another dude? Like a Kyle Curtin or a David Ayala or...
David is a good pick. I'll go David. Then Katie.
Okay. So Katie, you got Katie's 7th?
I think that was 6th.
6. Okay. 5 dudes and Katie 6. Okay.
Yeah.
And I got Katie 4th.
For F1.
I got Katie just missing overall podium.
Yeah. Her and David should be like, what would she do speed goat in? Because I know that race well.
You do. What would Katie Schide do speed goat in?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the leading women do that race in.
Because he's a
6 hours?
6:12. He's like.
That was a long time ago.
Okay. Well, is she going to smash that?
Does Katie Schide do a 6-hour speed goat?
David
I'd like
Sinclair
to say
did it
yes.
at 4:57.
I would like to say that Katie could do it in 6 hours.
Okay,
Under
but that's
6:30.
barely. So that's my point. Is those two might be a good race.
She smokes him.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I believe that's all I have, sir. Did you have any other Hardrock thoughts? We broke them down.
Nope. That's. Do you like the Friday start?
I wish Hardrock was on Saturday. Oh, it's because it's 48 hours. It's a 48-hour cutoff. So they go all day Friday, all day Saturday, which means the cutoff is 6 a.m. Sunday morning. That kind of makes sense. I think I do like it. For a 48-hour cutoff, yeah, it should be Friday.
I like the Friday. You get a little extra rest time before you have to go back to work.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's read some amazing comments that we had
Oh boy.
in our last week. Make us nervous. Oh my gosh. Okay, you got some good ones there for us, big guy?
How much you guys want to talk about David Roach?
Sure, bring it on.
Um,
We went at David Roche in our last one in a loving way.
I like this one from Kelly.
And whatever, I stand firmly behind everything I said about David Roche.
Yeah, you didn't say anything.
No.
I mean, it wasn't like favorable to him, but it wasn't unfair or mean.
Yeah, and since we hit that podcast, and I've listened to others. Yeah, I'm not in the minority there. Oddly enough, yeah. So let's read the comments from last week's podcast on our Western recap. Which one you want to read there, big guy?
I would say these two back to back.
Wait.
Okay, here we go.
That one I listened to.
The at Mark V. Sarek. I listened to Roach's podcast, and he said he had a panic attack and thought he might die if he would have continued the race. He also said that he is going to work on his mental health toughness.
He had a panic attack.
I listened to the same podcast the day after. So he and Megan have their own podcast. And I was like, we shot ours, and then his came out the next day, and I was like, oh, let's see what he said. Because I went at him with my own opinion and perspective. And he is owning the fact that he bitched out, for sure. Like, he's owning it, and he's embarrassed. Rightfully so. He was so public about his whole road to Western. He is owning that, and he is embarrassed, and it is embarrassing. He literally thought he was having thoughts of like, I might die and never see my kids again. And then even though he had like a sports psychologist or someone very close to him at the race being like, no, you're not going to die. You're fine. Like, continue. And he's like, no, I don't feel like. Anyway, he has to work on that, apparently. Yeah.
You know,
I'm out.
It's fine. I just don't think he and I will be going out to have a beer together.
Yeah, no. Nope. Okay, the other one.
But he's probably like, he would make me stay 6 feet away from him.
Probably. It's possible. Here's this other one. At Kellen Scott 555. Roach hasn't figured out that ultras are about grit and strength, not speed. His chassis is too weak for his engine, and he thinks boring out his pistons will fix his suspension issues. I listened to what Hayden, Jim, and Caleb said in their interviews this past week. Power is king.
Car talk with Jake and Mick.
Yeah. I don't even know what a chassis is, but I know it's on my car somewhere.
Hang on a second. He has not figured out that ultras are about grit and strength, not speed.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, but he's got a pretty damn good resume. Speed.
Okay, here's the general consensus in the ultra social commenting world. I read a lot of these.
And you live there, my friend, so I will listen.
I read and saw and listened to a lot of it. Here's the general consensus on him. He's a track and cross country athlete and coach first. Has no idea how to have true grit and suffer through pain. So he bails.
Whew. Also, in comment land, people read something and then they spit it out as theirs, and then it's just this mob mentality.
And to be fair, in comment land, most commenter people watch a 60-second reel and then go comment guy.
Yes.
Rogue.
That's why I hate it.
They don't even listen to the full interview or the full podcast.
I know. People blasting us, and I'm like...
They do it to us. They do it to David. Who cares? It's fine. You don't have time or don't have the desire to listen to a 90-minute podcast and get the full backstory. You just see one reel or one post, and then you go bonkers on it. It's fine. That will never go away. That being said, I don't think at Kellen Scott 555 is wrong, and most of the commenter people, because actions speak louder than any words, and actions speak louder than the comments. So he has shown that he is very fast. He's track and cross country fast. And if it's not going perfect and something doesn't feel right, I'm quitting.
Okay. You made a comment last week. Something about how he puts a lot of stuff out there. I don't follow him. I don't know anything about it. He's bringing the attention to himself. I'm telling you what's what. I got you. And then he puts that pressure on himself so that when he doesn't finish the race, it's like, well, that's to be expected. You're going to get blasted because you brought all the attention to yourself. Whereas if he would just stay under the radar, be quiet, go do the race, then people probably would leave him alone even if he didn't finish. They're not picking on him because he's so fast and they think he should win, right? It's not that.
Correct.
He's bringing it on himself.
I think that's the biggest issue. In the sport of ultra, it seems that you have a few categories of racers. One of them is influencer. There are people who get into races because they're influencers. They got 50,000 followers, 300,000. They're an influencer guy. And they get in. And then you have elites who get in. And they got 1,500 followers. They don't care about Instagram, Strava. They just race because they freaking love running and they love the sport and they're fast. He seems to be trying to marry the two of them, to be the influencer elite, because there are not elites who also influence. He's trying to do both, and it blew up in his face. So I'm a risk taker. I got respect for the risk taker. I think it's cool that he risked it and put it all out there and did this like YouTube series on his road to Western, my road to, I'm going to build splits of a 1359 Western and da-da-da-da-da. Just blew up in my face. Well, no, you kind of got to eat crow with egg on your face.
Do you think there's also an aspect with him where it's like, it almost seems like he's easy to cheer against because his personality is.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know him, but when I'm listening, even to it, is his wife or his girlfriend?
His wife.
When I'm listening to her even talk, I'm just like, ugh, God. Like, it's so nice. I don't have an example. Everything's so nice, loving and inclusive, and it's so great. And I'm like, I don't live my life like that. I don't just go around trying to be a dick. But even when we talk, I'm like, no, let's have a little banter. Let's have some fun. Let's talk a little crap. Like, if you're on a baseball team and someone's giving you a hard time, they're busting your balls. And you're just like, I don't feel safe. I'm offended. I'm just like, no, you're never gonna make it.
Yeah, there's very much that.
I don't align. Yeah. I can't. I'm not trying to be a mean person. It's just you have your personality and I have my personality. And what I'm gathering from the little bit I hear about this dude, I'm like,
Yeah, there's a lot there, and I agree with you. But we are very much.
I'm listening to Debo talk to him. It's a love affair. Oh my God, I love you. I love you more. No, I love you. You're the best. No, you're the best. We should. And I'm like, yeah. You got your God.
Yeah.
Enough.
It's very rainbows and butterflies and inclusivity.
And we're the mean guys because I'm just like, how many people do we represent where I'm just like, God.
No, I think that there's authenticity and there's being real, and then there's.
But do they live their life like that, or are they like these judgy, just talking shit behind the scenes?
There is. Okay, I'll just put it out there. This is my opinion and my opinion only. I don't think that they live that way. There's mic and camera person and influencer. I'm on camera person. And then there's the camera's off and I'm bitch. I think that's a real world influencer life. I don't care if you're an ultra runner or you.
That's who's
other
going,
demos.
Who's falling? Why do people fall for that crap?
The influencer world we live in, and I think that I just have a hard time believing that it's synonymous and the same. And when you live your life and your income is dependent upon the camera and the mic, you have to perform for your following, for your income, for your sponsors, for everyone. You lose authenticity and realism when that happens.
But why are you letting them dictate? Just be who you are.
Fear.
Who's the biggest podcast in the world?
The Next Aid Station.
Who's the second biggest?
Joe Rogan.
He just says what he's got to say. He just does his thing. He doesn't let people dictate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think you can be very big just being who you are.
I believe we're proving that.
Lex Friedman, dog. It's another good one.
What's up, Lex? One more comment. This one's from Rico de la Vega, 4511. Great.
Wait, I don't. Oh, you already got it?
Yeah, right there. Western coverage is only going to grow with other language streams in the future like Spanish and French. I can't wait for the American Bro language channel streaming Western with hosts Mick and Jake comparing the elites to various NBA players and going off topic for 20 minutes, lingering on the word niggle, then saying things you're sure will get the channel taken down. I'm in. Rico de la
Hell
Vega,
yeah.
45011. Sign us up.
When I
We're
first
in.
looked at that, I thought he was coming at us.
No, he's all for it.
He's tuning in.
He's
take
busting your ball.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You know, the other thing I thought of after we made the
I
comment.
hate when you have a lingering niggle.
You want the niggle just to come and go?
Yeah, because that just
Got my niggle out.
It's lingering. You know what I'm saying? To his point.
Like a niggle be hanging out.
Ow! Like get off my knee. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. The other thing I thought of when I asked you if Western states had the best.
I totally just cut you off. By the way, I don't
That's all right. We went.
You want to
niggle.
circle back to that first?
Circle J? Circle J, right back to the reason that I didn't put it 2 and 2 together at the moment last episode when I asked if Western was the best, had the best podcast.
Yeah.
I think I was looking
Live
at
stream?
the best live stream. I was looking at the number of views, right? They had like 30,000 views. I bet their numbers were artificially inflated because of Killian. If Killian's in your race, you have a whole other part of the world tuning into Western who would know otherwise would not be tuning in.
Sure.
So their numbers, I think, were super high
I didn't
because
take
of Killian.
it. I didn't consider it to be good or bad based off of how many viewers.
That was only part of my thought. We were more talking about Debo and, whatever.
Yeah.
The commentator.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the podcast is growing. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Give us some love. Send some topics you'd like us to discuss. If you want stuff thrown out there, we are very much shooting from the hip over here, if you couldn't tell. And but we're loving the topics and the questions we're getting posed every single week. So subscribe on YouTube. Thank you to DC Peaks. Thank you to Rockstar. This has been another episode of The Next Aid Season.